Hello students of class 5th. Today is our next session of SST. How are you? I'm totally fine. Okay. Now we have completed 3 chapters of SST. That is World Around Us. The name of the book is World Around Us. Okay, we have completed 3 chapters. Now we are moving to chapter number 4. That is Realms of the Earth. Okay, our today's chapter is Realm of Earth. It is chapter number 4. Okay, and we will divide this chapter into 2 parts. Okay, because the realm of the earth, we have to know it in detail. Okay, what are the real components of the earth, how are they divided into. Okay, before moving to the chapter, we will note down the contents as usual. You have to note down each and every content so that you would come to know what are we going to cover in this chapter. Okay, so let's move to the contents. Now moving to the contents of the chapter. Okay, our today's contents are, the first is realms of the earth. Second, after looking at the realms of the earth, we will see the components of the earth, that will be lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and so on. Okay, while learning the chapter, we will go through some hard words. Okay, so we will make a vocabulary in both the parts, in part 1 also and in part 2 also. Okay, and same exercise, whatever we will learn in both the parts, we will have an exercise in part 1 and an exercise in part 2. So you have to pay attention very carefully what is being explained. Okay, with this, let's have a look on our first content, that is the realms of the earth. Okay, let's see. Now the earth includes of land, water, plants, animals and us. Okay, but before knowing this, what is realms of earth? What do you mean by realms of earth? The word realm means an area. Okay, so the realm of earth means geographical division of earth. The realm of earth means the geographical division, means how is the earth divided into. Okay, so now on this realm, the earth includes of land also, water, plants, animals and even the human beings, that is us. Okay, now these are in both the forms. Both the forms means it is made up of living thing also and it is made up of non-living thing also. Now all these things, whatever is there on this earth, okay, they all are interdependent. Interdependent means dependent on each other. We human beings cannot live without the animals and plants. The animals can also not live without the plants, and the plants itself cannot survive on their own. Right? So, you can say it as example, how are we interdependent on each other? As I told you that on the earth we have land, water, air, plants, everything. Okay? Now, we need air to breathe. If air won't be there, what would we breathe and how would we survive? Okay, we need water to drink. If water is not there, then we won't survive. Okay, so again it is the same, we are depending on air and water. Okay, and on the land, if land is not there, everywhere it would be water and no land. Would it be possible for us to live? No. How would we build the house and in the houses which we live? Okay, And the plants and animals, yes, of course, we are depending on them. Okay? So without these things, everything you can say on the earth, whatever is there, all the things are interdependent. Interdependence means they depend on each other. Okay? Now, these realms of the earth, they can also be called as components of the earth. They can also be called as components of the earth. Means you can say realms or spheres. Spheres means parts. Okay? Now the earth is divided into 4 spheres, or you can say divided into 4 areas, or divided into 4 domains. Okay? That are affected by climate. Now these domains are affected by the climates. Now which are these 4 domains? These 4 domains are atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. I repeat again, these 4 domains of the earth, or you can say the components of the earth or the realms of the earth, in any words the answer is the same. It is atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. Now what does lithosphere means? Litho means stones or rocks, you can say. Okay, and lithosphere means the area of land. Litho means the area of land. Atmosphere. Atmosphere means the area where there is totally gas, air. Okay, the air we breathe, everything. Hydrosphere, the word hydro. Hydro means water. Okay, so hydrosphere means the area which has water. Okay, and biosphere. Biosphere means the part of all these spheres. All these spheres means which one? Lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere make up biosphere. Okay, lithosphere means the area of land. Atmosphere means the area where there is air. Hydrosphere means the area of water, and biosphere means the part of all the 3 spheres, that is lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. Okay, and you can say biosphere means the area, the zone where life exists on earth. Bio means itself, it is been explaining, bio means life. Okay, the earth includes of land, water, plants, animals and us, and we all are interdependent on each other. Means lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, they all are interdependent on each other. Without air, you can say nobody could survive. Either it is animals, birds, plants or we human beings. Right? Without hydrosphere, but nasal, again the same thing. No lithosphere, no biosphere can survive. Okay, so this is how all are depending on each other. Okay, now let's have a look on the spheres, means all the 4. I'll show you first all the 4 together and then explain you each and every point line wise. Okay, let's have a look. The spheres of the earth. Okay, lithosphere. Now what is lithosphere? It is the surface of the earth where you can say it is a thin crust like stones and rocky place where there is totally land. Okay, next is atmosphere. Atmosphere means the mixture of gases that is totally surrounding us. Okay, atmos means air. Litho means rock. Okay, and sphere means area, automatically part you can say. Okay, and next is hydrosphere. Now hydrosphere includes the vast oceans, seas, rivers, anything you can count it in this, or we can say the 71% of the earth's surface is totally counted in hydrosphere. And hydro means water. Okay, And the next last is biosphere. Biosphere means where all the living organisms live. Okay, because bio means life. Bio means life. So these are the 4 spheres of the earth. Okay, where litho means rock, atmos means air, hydro means water, and bio means life. Okay, now let's cover lithosphere first. Lithosphere means the realm, the area of land. It consists of again 3 layers. Now the lithosphere again consists of 3 layers, that is the crust, mantle and core. The 3 layers of the earth, or you can say of the lithosphere, are crust, mantle and core. Okay, the upper portion, you can say the upper portion, okay, it is the crust. Okay, now of these the core is further divided into inner core and outer core. Means the upper layer of the lithosphere is crust, then below that, below crust is the mantle, and below mantle it is core. And that core, layer core, is divided into again 2 parts, that is inner core and outer core. You can have a look in the picture which I have given you in the right side. Okay, it shows you the correct diagram of the layer of the earth, where the crust is, after that the mantle, after that the inner core, and then the after that the outer core, and then the inner core. Okay, now as we go deeper inside the earth, it becomes hotter. Okay, and as a result the layers change from a solid to a semi-solid state gradually. Okay, only the inner core, that is the inner core, which is the inside part of the earth, okay, remains solid due to the immense force exerted on it by the upper layer. Means the inner core is the solid, it remains solid every time. Okay, why? Because of the force of the other 3 layers which is above it. Now all these layers, whether it is crust, whether it is mantle, or you can say whether it is outer core or inner core, these all are composed of rocks and minerals. These all are composed of rocks and minerals. Okay, and the crust forms the uppermost layer. Now the uppermost layer of the lithosphere, it is the crust, mantle is the middle layer, okay, and core is the innermost layer. I repeat again, crust is the uppermost layer, okay, and then the mantle, it is the middle layer, and below mantle it is the core, that is the innermost layer of the lithosphere. Okay, now this crust, the uppermost layer of the earth, this includes of oceans and land masses, because both of the things are there on the crust. Okay, the uppermost layer, it is covered with oceans also, and it is covered with land masses also. Okay, now what more do this lithosphere provide us? Lithosphere provides us many things. Now this lithosphere provides us all the minerals also. Okay, not only about knowing about the layers of the lithosphere, but lithosphere provides us with metallic minerals. What kind of metallic minerals? Like iron, copper, gold, etc. Okay, now coal, natural gas, mineral fuels provide us energy. It also provides us non-metallic minerals such as limestone and gypsum. Okay. Now the topmost layer, that is the uppermost layer, has soil also, which is good for the growth of the plants. Okay. The fertile layer of soil is essential for good agricultural output to support human population. The topmost layer, that is the crust also has the soil, and the soil should have the fertility. Why should it have the fertility? For good agricultural output, so that it could support the human population. Okay, so this is all about, we have talked about the lithosphere. Okay, now after lithosphere comes the hydrosphere. I hope you have understood about lithosphere very clearly. Okay, I'll give you a short explanation again. Lithosphere is the realm of land. Lithosphere means realm of land. Lithosphere consists of 3 layers: crust, mantle and core. Core is further divided into 2 parts, that is inner core and outer core. Next, crust is the uppermost layer, mantle is the middle layer and core is the innermost layer. Okay, now as we go deeper, means first the crust, then the mantle and then the core, as we go deeper the earth becomes hotter. Okay, and this is on the lithosphere we get the minerals, metals, rocks, everything. We also get on the lithosphere, we also get the soil, which is good for the agriculture. Okay, now let's move to the hydrosphere. Now as I had told you, hydrosphere, the word hydro itself tells us about the word, that is hydro means water. Okay, so water, so hydrosphere means the sphere of water. Okay, it covers nearly 71% of Earth's surface. It covers nearly 71% of Earth's surface. Now hydrosphere includes, what does it include? It includes everything. Everything means oceans, seas, lakes, glaciers, okay, polar ice sheets, means if it is a mountain, ice mountain and anything, it covers everything in the hydrosphere. And so 71% of the earth's surface is said to be covered with water, and because of it earth is known as the blue planet, because the 71% of water is giving the earth blue color, and so the earth is also known as blue planet. Okay, now this hydrosphere also includes water in the aquifers under the ground. Okay, clouds in the air and snow and glacier in the mountain peaks, means the rain in the clouds are also counted in hydrosphere. Aquifers means sea, river, lake, pond, everything, underwater, groundwater. Okay, all are counted in hydrosphere. Okay, now water in all its forms are constantly moving, whether it is in the form of water vapor, whether it is in the form of rain, whether it is in the form of ice, solid, liquid, gas. In all the 3 forms the water is constantly moving. Okay, now let me explain you again. In physical geography, hydrosphere describes the combined mass of water. Now that water can be found on, under and over the surface of our earth. Now this hydrosphere includes all the water sources, that is oceans, seas, lakes, glaciers, everything, snow, clouds in the air, okay, and underground water, everything. Now 71% of the earth is covered with water, and so it is giving a blue color to our earth, our planet, and that is why it is known as the blue planet. Okay. Now one main thing, the hydrosphere includes saline. Saline means salt water as well as fresh water. Okay. Now the 97% of water which we have on our planet is salty water, and this salty water cannot be used for anything, neither for bathing, neither cooking, washing, nothing. It can be used for no purpose. Okay, it means we have only 3% of water which can be used, and from which only 1% of fresh water can be used for drinking. Okay. And the oceans which are there, they provide us with various minerals such as salt, manganese, bromine, etc. Okay. Now further I am showing you the sources of water, which includes the hydrosphere. Now the hydrosphere, all the water on or near the earth's surface is counted in hydrosphere. Now what are those? Oceans, lakes, rivers, wetlands, ice caps, ice sheets, soil, subsurface of groundwater, the water which is under the ground. It is also called to be counted in hydrosphere. Clouds and atmosphere. Okay, the water vapor in the atmosphere is also counted in the hydrosphere. Now looking at the earth, the picture of the earth which is given there, you can see most of the part of the earth is blue, and that blue part is because 71% of the earth, as I have told you and explained you in the previous chapters also, that 71% of the earth is covered with water, and so our earth looks blue, and so our earth is also known as blue planet, or okay, blue planet. Now more we can understand about hydrosphere is one more thing which you have learned in your previous classes also, that is about water cycle. Water is constantly moving in all its forms. Okay, water in the river and oceans move into the atmosphere due to the sunlight. Okay, the water changes into water vapor and moves upside, and then goes back to the river and the ocean in the form of rain. So this continuous movement of water is called water cycle. Okay, I'll explain you again. Water on the earth is constantly in motion. It keeps changing from one form to other in a cyclical manner. Cyclical manner. What is cyclical? Cyclical means occurring in the form of cycle, means moving on. Okay, moving on from one to another. Okay, now this cyclical manner of the water changing from one form to another, it is known as water cycle. And in scientific language you can also say hydrological cycle. Okay, now this water cycle consists of 3 stages. Now which are these 3 stages? These 3 stages are evaporation, condensation and precipitation. Okay, I repeat again that the water is constantly moving in all the forms. Okay, whether it is in a gaseous form, liquid form or solid form. Okay, now this the water on the earth, when keeps on changing from one form to other form in a cyclical manner, This cyclical manner is known as water cycle. The water evaporates. Now, from where does the water evaporates? Or it changes into water vapor. The water evaporates from the water bodies such as oceans, lakes, ponds, etc. Okay? And after that, what happens? Water vapor rises to reach the upper layers of the atmosphere, and where it condenses due to the cooling of the upper layer. Okay, it moves in the form of water vapor, goes up, and after that it changes and cools into water again. This water vapor gathers in the clouds, forms a cloud, and then it comes down in the form of rain. Okay, now as I told you that the water cycle consists in 3 stages. First is the evaporation. Evaporation means the water from the river, lake, sea and everything evaporates, changes into water vapor and it goes up. Condensation. Condensation means after going up, it cools down and takes a form of a cloud. Okay, and precipitation. Precipitation means to come down in the form of water. Falling of water, any form of water falling on the earth is precipitation. Okay, so these are the 3 stages of the water cycle. Evaporation, condensation and precipitation. Condensation finally results in precipitation. This water seeps into the soils and flows down as the river and finally comes back to the oceans and the sea. And this cycle continues every time. It happens the same. The water evaporates, goes up, condenses and becomes water again and then falls down in the form of water on the earth and that is called precipitation. Okay? And because of this, the balance of water on the earth remains constant over time to time. Okay, now because of this, the water cycle keeps on moving. Okay, and the balance of water on the earth remains constant. Okay, have you understood condensation, evaporation and precipitation? These are the 3 stages of the water cycle. Okay, water cycle, what happens in the water cycle? In the water cycle, you can see the evaporation. Evaporation takes place first. Evaporation, the water changes into gas. Okay, then it moves up. Look at the picture. It can be easily understood after looking at it. This is the picture of the water cycle. How does it work? Okay, the cyclical manner of the water cycle. The water evaporates, water changes into gas, or you can say changes into water vapor. Okay, then it condenses. Condenses means it cools down. Okay, and the water collects as the cloud. It forms a cloud. Okay, after it forms the cloud, it takes the stage of precipitation. Precipitation means the water which is being collected in the form of the cloud comes down in the form of rain. Water falls as rain, and same that water goes into the river, lakes and seeps into the ground. Means it is been soaked by the ground. Okay, and the water returns to the land and the oceans. This is the water cycle which continues over time to time, and because of this, the balance of water on the earth is constant. Okay, I hope you have understood everything. Now with this, our part 1 is over. We will move to part 2 in the next session. But before that, I had told you about the word meanings, okay, which we have gone through this chapter. Some of the words which are scientific and you may have not understood. So let's have a look on the vocabulary. Our today's first word in the vocabulary is realms. REALMS. Okay? Realms. Realm means a primary biogeographical division of the earth surface. Okay? The biogeographical division of the earth surface is known as realms. Next, domains. 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 What does domains means? Domain means an area of control or a sphere of knowledge. Okay? Next, cyclical. 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 Cyclical means occurring in cycles or recurrent. Occurring in cycles or recurrent. Next word is rigid. 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 Rigid means unable to bend or be forced out of shape. Okay? Means the one which is not flexible, too much hard for you to give any other shape. It is said to be rigid. Okay? Rigid, again I repeat, unable to bend or be forced out of shape, or you can say not flexible. Next, interdependent. Interdependent means to depend on each other. Dependent on each other. Have you noted down? I repeat the words again. Realms, domains, cyclical, rigid and interdependent. Write down all the meanings and let's take the next step towards the exercise. In our today's exercise, the first question, name the component of the earth. What is our first question? Name the components of the earth. Now, what are the components of the earth? The components of the earth are lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. What are the components of the earth? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere. Next question. What is lithosphere? Lithosphere is the realm of earth. Lithosphere is the realm of land, or you can say the rigid outer part of the earth. Lithosphere is the rigid outer part of the earth. Okay? Now our next question is, what is hydrosphere? What is the next question? What is hydrosphere? Now what is hydrosphere? All the water on the earth's surface. Hydrosphere means the sphere of water. You can say the sphere of water on the earth's surface. Or in easy words, it can be said, all the waters on the earth's surface is known as hydrosphere. Okay? Now, moving to our next question. Why is Earth known as the blue planet? Why is the Earth known as the blue planet? Because our Earth is nearly covered with 71% of water. Our earth is nearly covered with 71% of water. That's why our earth is known as blue planet. Okay, next question. Which are the three layers of the lithosphere? The three layers of the lithosphere. I had told you it is crust, mantle and core. The three layers of the lithosphere are crust, mantle and core. Okay. Next question. Which are the three stages of water cycle? The three stages of water cycle are evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Evaporation means the process by which water transforms to vapor. Condensation means the process by which vapor transforms in water, and precipitation means any form of water falling on the earth. So the three stages of water cycle are evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Next, dash is the uppermost layer of the earth. Dash is the uppermost layer of the earth. Which is the uppermost layer of the lithosphere? Sorry, what is the uppermost layer of the lithosphere? It is the crust. Okay, the uppermost layer of the lithosphere, it is crust. And the last one is the components of the earth are called, or you can say are made up of. The components of the earth are called realms or spheres. The components of the earth are called realms or spheres. Now, these are the question and answers for today, part 1. I'll meet you soon in next session with part 2 of the same chapter, in which we will see the other two realms of the earth, that is atmosphere and biosphere. In that I will tell you some facts also about which you should know. It's good for your GK also, and it is also related with all of your chapters which are there in this book. It is about the earth. Till then, please study well, take care of your health and have a good day. Bye.